You know what? One thing that I will say is that my trips to Huntsville are always eventful. There's always something that I need to talk about down to the Huntsville. Lord have mercy. Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. Listen, like I said, down to the Huntsville, it's always eventful. It's always eventful. Y'all always got something going on. And learning you folks are baby. But listen, I'm going to start right here because I do this too. Carlos. Come close, my love. Now, Carlos, I've said to you before, no one can make me feel any other type of way. You are one of the best to have ever done it. But I'm going to tell you this, sir. I don't ever want to see you do this again. Why would you show a plate of half-eaten food? What was the purpose of this, Carlos? What is the purpose of this? What are we saying? Because I don't think that that's a proper representation of the Love and Marriage Huntsville crew. That doesn't give me a proper representation of Huntsville, North Carolina. That doesn't give me a proper representation of anything that I'm willing to talk about. I don't want to see no plate of half gnawed on chicken and waffles and literally gnawed on. And when the camera just panned to it, I was so done. I was like, are you freaking kidding me? Are you freaking kidding me? So listen, Carlos, I'm going to let this slide this here time. But I don't want to see no plate of no half chewed up food. I can't stand when people do it on Facebook. I cannot stand when people do that on Facebook. It's trifling. If you're going to do food porn and then show us some food that we want to eat, somebody already got to that. I don't need to see that. After somebody done gummed it all up, honey, I was so bothered. And maybe that's just a Jamesism. It could be, but I was so bothered. You are way better than this. Don't do that no more. Don't do that no more. Show me no plate of that. Unless it's something that goes with what's going on. But the people that we was talking about wouldn't be sitting up with no gummed up food thinking that they was turning it. That was like Kimmy and Marceau and Maurice and Tisha. They don't give me chewed up plates of food type T. Anyway, listen, it is what it is. Let's just go into and I got some more. I got some more. Listen, I do like Nell and Chris. I like Chris. I don't dislike Nell. Nell's cool. Like Nell's cool. What I see of Nell so far is really cool. But I want to beat the shit out of whoever did Chris's hair. Chris got nice hair. Okay? His hair is nice. It's a nice grade. I like him. I can't see him with a really short cut. I'm glad he ain't got no spaces in it. Hey, listen. I had a head of nice hair at one point too. I had a head full of it. And then shit went left. I've had every type of hairstyle you can think of. My hair used to be down past my shoulders. At one point, I've done braids. I've done micros. I'm a hairdresser. So I've list walking billboard. You name it, I've had it. I've had weaves. I've had shit. I've never had dreads, and I've never actually colored my hair blonde. I never did that, my real hair. But my go-to was actually a gentleman's fade, and my own hair texture is curly. So it would, I would do the little curly top thing and go. And then shit started going laugh child, went through the piece. I was adding pieces and doing the man weave years before it became a thing. Years before it became a thing. Y'all split the tracks, put it in there. Listen, I done been down that road, did all that. But Chris got nice hair. Chris, I like Chris. Chris, he's a cute man. He really, and that's all I can really say about him. Like, he's real handsome. He's a handsome dude, and he cool. And I like his little demeanor. And he was ready to smack Martell's good face, I thought. And that I said, Martell, he don't give me that you could really play with him like that. Like, don't play with him, because you might actually really get what you ain't looking for, and you'll be, talking shit to him. And then the next thing you know, you be, where he done real fast and smacked you up in your mouth. I like that kind of shit. But Chris, I'm going to play with you. I'm going to play with you, Chris, and I don't care how you feel about it. So I say this with love. Don't you sit your ass nowhere. Because if you're doing this yourself, then I'm going to tell you to stop it. You a cute man and all that, quit. Don't do that. Don't do that. Because you might be you put that little part in your hair. That's so when you was 17 and 18 and 19 years old. The part is real, real thick though. Like, stop it. Stop it. Because you don't even have spaces in your hair. You creating these big parts. And I don't know if you're doing that or if somebody else. Now, I know you know better than to be doing that to him. But in this last episode, listen, what is this? What is that? Why you gonna do it on two sides? And look how nice he looked. Look how nice he looks until you look up at his head and he looked like this goddamn fool from the Hunger Games. I was like, what is going on? I'm like, you doubling as a judge at the Hunger Games, or what's going on? That is the first person that came to mind when I seen that. I said, now I've been quiet a couple weeks about that part in there because I was hating that part. But when you going to bust it down with the two parts, I said, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Whoever is doing this to you, tell them don't do that. Don't do that. Now, you're going to be mad if you want to be mad. I don't care. You still a cute man. You're handsome. You really are. But I don't want you out here looking no fool. And that looked foolish. That looked foolish. I hated it. I hated it so much. Anyway, so beyond looking like a judge from the goddamn Hunger Games, there was this whole thing with Nell and Chris, and Nell's like worried about who to invite for her party, and she's worried about Stormy and Letitia having it out. There's also inner fussing with their kids with the whole thing with Lexi. And she reached out to Lexi. Lexi would not respond. The kids just, they just kind of fussing amongst themselves and different things like that. So she's worrying about people being on their best behavior. Listen, if I'm throwing a party for me, I'll uninvite all they ass. If I think that people can't conduct themselves, I'm not gonna put myself in a position to be miserable and spend my money. No, I ain't gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. So I was like, damn, that's crazy. That's really crazy. My kids, maybe that's something different. But Stormy and Letitia, they both would be uninvited if I felt like they was going to act a fool. It wouldn't happen. So let's move on. So the plate, we talked about the plate. That was Kimmy and Maurice and Marcel and Tisha sitting down, and they were having this conversation. Here's this thing. I was sitting there and I'm like, oh my God, that whole doing business with family thing, child, it could be a murky piece of water. It really, really can. Very, very easily. And Kimmy was given very much. She said, you know what, Marceau is slow to finish things, period. And then he comes straight in with, there's a difference between paid jobs and then hobbies and like family jobs. And I'm like, yes and no. Yes and no. When you're a contract, don't nobody want their shit tore up. You know, nobody wants their shit tore up. Don't nobody want to live in no half done. You know, that get real iffy. And he really wants to bid on the job and all of that. And I'm like, I don't know. And then Kimmy was just giving it to him straight. You know, she gave it to him straight, no chaser. So there really ain't no excuse. If he does get the bid to do the job with Kimmy, which I don't think she should even go there, because your first man is actually telling you already, don't mess with him. Don't mess with your family member. Just leave it alone. So you really should just leave it alone. There's that little voice, that little still voice is telling you. Who do you think that still voice is? Comes to you in the middle of the night in a still voice. Who do you think that is talking to you? Telling you leave that shit alone. Okay, but whatever. Then she laid it out. Well, she said, "Listen, I ain't trying to be shady, but Tisha ain't in the office. The strip mall situation got going on is undone, and then Scott Manor is undone. So why in the hell do you want your stuff not done? Why do you want to be added to the list of undone things? Child, be loving him from across the street. I wouldn't be messing with him on that, but I've seen it. I haven't been there. Child. Nope. No. Anyway, moving on. Courtney and Ken got together. And now we're kind of seeing this whole thing with Ken. So, you know, his girlfriend, that little girlfriend, honey, Trisha, I told y'all I can't with her. She talk out of both sides of her mouth. And I get chaos demon from her, but it's nice to be able to hear him now. And I'm seeing, like, speaking of the signs, all the signs are there. You can date her. You keep on doing what it is y'all doing. But why this whole going to marry her thing, I'm not rushing nobody through to get no divorce to marry me. You know, don't. I'm not even approaching no conversation about me being with you and you hung up with somebody else. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to put myself in no position dating nobody. And I've been there dating somebody that lived with an ex. That's some bullshit. You know, how you start, how you finish. People who I don't trust that. That's all. And you know, it could be whatever. Sometimes financial, however. I'm not putting myself in the midst of nobody else's mess. I don't want no used car. I've been down that road, you know, peel a sticker off a car versus buy a previously owned car. I personally, for me, been there, done that. I don't want nobody else's problem. I don't want no problem car. I don't want no problem man. I don't want no man that nobody else had and still previously attached to. And I don't want no goddamn car that used to be nobody else's that they're previously attached to. I just don't like it. I don't want it. I don't trust it. Same thing. Cars and men, they both the same. They both the same, honey. Press down on them, honey, and see what you get, honey. I ain't got time for that. Anyway, but the public perception of them is bothering him, as it should. Because now that we're getting to know you all and seeing what's really going on, the public perception is basically that she was messing with you while she's still married. She is. She is still married. And she is messing with you. But people don't know the ins and outs. They don't know the dates. It really ain't none of their damn business. But public opinion can be kind of rough at times. Kind of rough. Obviously, that kind of bothers Ken. I get it. I'm literally scared for him with the situation that he's in. I think he's going to come up the loser. I really do. And I do think he's a nice guy. But I think he's going to come up the loser because I don't trust her. Something about her just don't sit well with me. And I don't trust her with him. I don't. I really don't. And then what he was saying about the Martell stuff and the optics. Yes, the optics of her and Martell look suspect as hell. It really does. Oh, y'all playing it. I don't know him, but I know him. And then you don't. The optics of it all look suspect. And we watched it. We watched it go down. It looked like they had something. I don't play these kind of games. I don't play these kind of games because I done told. Listen, I done had my heart broken before. Next one break my heart, I'm gonna break their face. That's just that's just the way that's the way that I want to go about things. I step very lightly. I step very carefully because I mean that to my core. The next one that breaks my heart, I intend to break their face, and that's just the way. It's probably better for me to be by myself. That's how I've been doing it because I don't want you to sweep me off my feet and then I have to take and clean you up. uh-uh, uh-uh. I really don't. I don't want you to sweep me off my feet and I have to beat you with the broom. I move carefully. Move carefully. That just don't seem right. Let's move on. Now, okay. So Nell's party. Nell's party. Letitia came from the gate. She had bad energy. When they were in the car on the way over, Letitia had bad energy. Um, I feel like Tisha and Marceau shouldn't even gone to the party. They have said in so many words that they don't even know why they coming, why they were even invited. Why are you coming? Other than, you got some papers that you signed with Carlos to get your ass over there. But the energy was bad. And then Letitia was drinking. She was sis. You were drinking like a fish, like a fish. And I'm like, wow. And I was like, first I was sitting there and I was saying, they giving her the bad edit. They making her look like a little lush, And I was like, that's the bad edit. But then I was like, no, that ain't really the bad edit. This broad is really drinking like this. Like she's really getting down, honey. You were really swallowing the juice, honey. I said, oh my, have you ever been swallowed up? He was swallowing that liquor out of. I said, oh my. Every time you see the I said, girl, she'll be drinking. And you continued on and you just kept getting more and more belligerent, more and more brazen, more and more bold with I mean, you bold with what you say anyway, but you were really doing the most. I was like, wow, this is giving drunk girl tease. Not cute. Not cute. She was all up on Melody when Melody came in, touching her glasses and stuff. I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And, Melody was like, she didn't want to lock horns with Marceau about whatever had happened previously. And she's just, pushing it. I was like, that's a mess. That's a mess. I didn't like how the cast was trying to like push the siblings to discuss their issues with their half sister. I'm like, this is not the time. This is not the time. And why do we want to discuss our inner workings of our family with you all? I was like, child, y'all messy as hell. But now if they're gonna talk, we're gonna listen. But I was like, y'all messy. Y'all the old ones. Y'all the old grown people. Y'all supposed to be teaching them. And that's the truth of the matter. Now, I mean, all messiness aside, y'all, the old people, that's supposed to be teaching them that there's a time and a place for everything. And here at this birthday party, it's a surprise party for their mama and their stepmama. It is not the time to be discussing the inner workings of y'all's family with these strangers. That was a mess. Stormy, girl, that dress is ridiculous. Your titties were just wow. That was a bit much. That was a bit much. And Courtney, I don't even like. Of course, you shouldn't be like telling her what she can and cannot wear, but damn, like even with her being with you, that was a bit much. That was a bit much. It was literally like, I mean, talk about nip slip. That was a bit much. Yeah, that was a bit much. Like I said, Letitia was all loud and drunk and just carrot drinking like a fish, and that was just a mess. And she kept monopolizing like every conversation. It was getting to be very, very um it was just overboard for me. I was just like, that's a mess. Then when she started going at Nell, like Letitia just started going on that Nell, calling her by her full name. She's saying like, I'm Nell, like calling me Linnell. My name is Nell. Like doing. Then she breaks out. She started going at Stormy, about the invite. And I'm like, you got the invite to the Galentine's Day thing. All you got to do is don't go. All you got to do is don't go. Like, again, time and place. And you just like, child, I didn't understand why Stormy ain't uninvited, because I uninvited her. Even if you extended an olive branch, that just got all out of sorts. I was like, wow. But again, this was Tisha's fault, because Tisha was giving you drunk girl. And she was giving, I'm saying what I want to say, like she usually do anyway, but it was really amplified with the liquor. Really, really amplified. And then, Stormy, after a while, after she kept poking and prodding her, she told her, she said, yeah, well, I mean, explain, what did you mean by popping pills? When she accused her of popping pills at the reunion. Like, what did you mean by that? And then it was given, I said, So they get ready to tear this party up, I guess. So, they do these cliffhangers, honey. I was like, child, this look like they get ready to tear this party up. Well, I probably would. I'd have been really willing to tear it up, because she was doing the most. She was doing the most. Letitia was doing the most. Anyway, y'all tell me how y'all feel. Do you feel Letitia was doing too much? Or do you feel like it was okay for her to act like a drunk or a lush? Because you did. You came across as a lush. The way I truly did, sis. I truly thought they were giving you the bad edit. But no, your behavior said, no, you was really drinking the way that they was showing you drinking, girl. You was giving lush teas. Sorry, not sorry, honey. Slow down, honey. Slow down. I ain't drinking like that. That ain't ladylike. That ain't what anybody told you. That's not ladylike, honey. And everybody was looking at you like you was crazy. Anyway, I will talk to y'all on the next episode. Can't wait to see how this is going to go, but I swear it looked like they're going to tear up the rest of this party. It really, really does. Anyway, wait, before I go, the whole thing with her and Nell, like how she was going off on Nell, it came across like you really don't even like Nell. Am I the only one that read into that like that? It seemed like you really don't care for her all like that. I don't know. It sounded like you should have even been there. You should have stayed at home. If you can't play nice with others, stay the hell on home. Anyway, I'm out. I'll talk to y'all later. Put it on down there in the comments. Tell me what y'all think, honey. Did she get the bad at it, or was she giving lush teas?